tonight. It has been an incredible night. It's been an unforgettable night as we have celebrated the longest running prime-time wrestling show ever on TBS and TNT right here tonight. But we do need to say about what happened earlier to young Hook.
That's right. The Death Riders, much like they did a few weeks back against Switchblade Jay White, attacking Hook before Dynamite went on the air. Hook still under observation, of course. That is why Taz has not joined us here at the announce desk tonight.
And of course, leaving with Hook, his father, Taz, our broadcast partner, and that took something away from this broadcast that obviously wanted to see his son get a shot at becoming a champion.
But Tony, do you think that means the Death Riders? Do you think that means John Moxley is worried? The fact that they would take a shot at Hook like that.
Of course it does.
And their opponents,
Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, they said earlier today, Tony, they were very vocal, very animated in the back. They said they were going to face the Death Riders for the Trios Championships come hell or high water, even if it meant being a 2-on-3 matchup.
Realistically, when you count Marina Shafir and you know what she has done, how she's been involved, it's almost a 2-on-4. Look at the cocky John Moxley says, come on in the ring. And you think Joe is afraid? You're wrong. You think Shibata's afraid?
Yeah,
they've had many matches. Hold on a second. How about this? Good for the goose is good for the gander. We've got another man.
John Moxley can fill in for Pac. I guess that means Powerhouse Hobbs can fill in for Hook here tonight, and we're off to the races.
The #1 contenders that got the same consideration the Death Riders did by using John Moxley. Whoa!
As the action spilling all over the arena here in Boston. As our main event is underway, Powerhouse Hobbs. Of course, no shortage of history with John Moxley. It was just over a year, I think it was a year and 1 week ago that he was injured facing Moxley. Back in Jacksonville when Hobbs injured his knee. But prior to that, Hobbs, of course, he was a part of Team Taz alongside of Hook.
That's right. That's a great callback. And now, Hobbs is like a man possessed.
And he is laying some heavy shots in Wheeler. Yuta in the corner. John Moxley, Marina Shafir, Claudio Castagnoli looking out from ringside as Moxley in from behind.
Whoops, did something bite me on the back? Look at that.
Powerhouse Hobbs, he and Moxley. They've gone to war numerous times. Each time it was Moxley that got the better of Hobbs, but now Hobbs, alongside Samoa Joe and Shibata, has a chance to turn the tables.
Just raw power here.
Massive power slam delivered by Hobbs. Tag made to Samoa Joe. What a unique trio this is, Tony. Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Will Hobbs.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. And the Death Riders thinking they had the upper hand, and yes, they did, taking the young man out.
And of course, the third member of the Opps, cold-hearted, handsome devil, Hook, taken out earlier tonight by the Death Riders with Samoa Joe. Shibata undeterred and calling in Powerhouse Hobbs for reinforcements.
Joe just staring into John Moxley and Claudio into the corner. And that's a worried look, I think. It's been a worried look since Hobbs walked in from John Moxley, that is.
AEW Dynamite live from the MGM Music Hall at Fenway in Boston, Massachusetts. Our main event is underway. The Death Riders looking to defend their AEW World Trios Championship against the Opps and Powerhouse Hobbs here tonight. Death Riders attacking Hook before Dynamite came on the air. And the Opps calling in some heavy reinforcements from Powerhouse Hobbs.
And as we've done so many times in the 288 versions of Dynamite prior to this record-setting night, we are staying with the action past the top of the hour as long as it takes. What it's all about in AEW.
Katsuyori Shibata and Wheeler Yuta, these two men have battled numerous times. Now the high boot delivered by Shibata, but he turned his back to Wheeler Yuta. As when Yuta was Ring of Honor Pure Champion, he and Shibata
the crush.
battled back and forth, but now Claudio Castagnoli playing the difference maker on the outside. Yuta, the legal man for the Death Riders, along with Katsuyori Shibata, legal man for the challengers here tonight.
Shibata's shoulder is hurt.
Yeah, understandably so. I mean, an athlete the size of Claudio Castagnoli sending you into the barricade.
Maybe the ribcage way he's holding the side that time.
Moxley trying to draw in Samoa Joe, successfully does so, but referee Paul Turner keeping Joe out of the ring as, now look at that, Claudio Castagnoli, a cheap shot. No tag was made there.
Not at all.
The Death Riders using the confusion to their advantage.
Shibata's a fighter, isn't he? You think about his health.
Shibata, who battled through what was not just a career-threatening injury, but a life-threatening injury. But fans, we are taking our final break tonight on Dynamite. Don't go anywhere as our main event continues. Now the uppercut delivered in the corner to Katsuyori Shibata. Is now John Moxley.
Yeah, taunting.
The consummate opportunist, Tony.
Yeah, taunting the corner as he rolled over, stared at him, slid back the other way.
Now quick tags in and out by the Death Riders. Of course, they're in the referee's cone of vision, so not able to take advantage of the blind tag, so to speak.
Tony Excalibur, it's difficult, obviously, to go up against the Death Riders on any level. Tag team, trios, Moxley, there's always a plan, there's always a focus.
Now Fisherman suplex, nice bridge by Wheeler Yuta. Shibata able to kick out, but Yuta does a great job maintaining control of the ankle of Shibata to prevent Shibata making it over the corner to make the tag.
Wheeler Yuta has been very well taught. And of course, Bryan Danielson had a lot to do with that, but obviously by Moxley and Claudio, Pac as well. And he's become quite a trios champion. And a very hated one as well. Look at that. Did a great job of drawing in the two men. Samoa Joe and I almost said Hook. God bless him.
Yeah, Hobbs.
Hobbs.
But, you know, I mean, even with Pac sidelined, the Death Riders still a very, very dangerous trio. I mean, quartet if you count Marina Shafir on the outside.
Moxley he's got his fingers in the nostrils. Had his fingers in the nostrils of Shibata pulling back. See, something like that has nothing to do with trying to win a match. He just wants to injure his opponent, intimidate his opponent.
Front chancery locked in. Moxley backed up to the ropes. Blind tag made by Claudio Castagnoli. Shibata now finding himself in the grip. Pound for pound, perhaps the strongest man in all of professional wrestling. Claudio Castagnoli makes the cover.
Claudio's just an amazing athlete, Excalibur. My God.
He certainly is, and I mean, that's what's so heartbreaking about him throwing in his lot with John Moxley and Death Riders like this. He doesn't need to wrestle that way. Wheeler Yuta doesn't need to wrestle that way.
No, he does not, especially, you know what, and especially Claudio. Former ROH champion. He's been a champion over and over in tag team wrestling, singles competition.
AEW Dynamite spring breakthrough Dynamite number 289 in Boston, Massachusetts. Our main event well underway. The AEW World Trios Championship is on the line. Jon Moxley filling in for the injured Pac alongside Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. But Powerhouse Hobbs filling in for the injured Hook, but the cheap shot there by Marina Shafir. Hobbs never saw it coming. And Hobbs, of course, filling in for Hook as Katsuyori Shibata and Samoa Joe of the Opps challenging for the Trios Championship here tonight in our main event.
That was brutal.
As Hobbs mentioned, Tony, it was 1 year and 1 week ago, or 1 week, that Hobbs, he injured that knee. The ACL injury in the match with Jon Moxley back in Daly's place. And that fact not lost on the Death Riders, not lost on Marina Shafir, as Shibata turning the tables on Castagnoli. Jawbreaker.
So many memorable, amazing things have happened on Dynamite as we are at this record-setting night.
Shibata trying to make the crawl to Samoa Joe for the tag. But no, Castagnoli inadvertently sending Shibata into Moxley. And now look at this, Shibata doggedly attempting to battle out of the corner of the Death Riders. Yuta dropped to a knee. Castagnoli.
Oh, brother.
Waiting with that uppercut. Caught Shibata with the high boot. Back heel trip drives Castagnoli down.
To say Shibata needs a tag would be a gross understatement right now. Now, let's not forget, we are back here tomorrow night, and we are live on TNT, Excalibur.
With Collision, Commander puts his Ring of Honor World Television Championship on the line against the Patriarchy's Nick Wayne. Julia Hart, Chris Statlander facing Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron. As Samoa Joe, Manhattan Drop accelerates to the ropes. High boot takes down Yuta. Adam Cole, TNT Open Challenge tomorrow night live on Collision. Cover made, Joe! Only a 2 count for Samoa Joe. All of that, so much more tomorrow night. 8, 7 Central live on TNT and Max. But right now, Joe! Power slam, but Moxley there to break it up.
It took the save to do it. One more note. Yes, Collision is live Thursday tomorrow night and not Saturday. Remember that program note? What the hell is Moxley doing?
Of frustrations.
That's what it is. Good call.
Bubbling over. And Moxley perhaps looking for the easy way out here tonight.
Yeah, disqualification. The Death Riders retain the title.
Wait a second. Willow Nightingale. Willow disarming Moxley.
She remembers what Moxley did to her. Big foot. Oh, big shotgun.
But Shibata waiting there. Take down Yuta. Uppercut takes down Shibata. Powerhouse Hobbs. Spine on the pine. Courtesy of Hobbs. Now Hobbs sent to the outside. Boot to the face of Samoa Joe.
How about that?
What a wind-up on the lariat there by Samoa Joe.
He ate that foot. Willow staying out here, staring across at Marino.
Oh, wait a second. I just looked up at the top of the ramp. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the EVPs, the men that have been trying to ingratiate themselves to Jon Moxley and the Death Riders.
Yeah, they tried to ingratiate themselves, if you'll recall, early to Hangman Adam Page.
And they cost Swerve Strickland the AEW World Championship just a few days ago at Dynasty.
Unbelievable. These two arrogant men.
Wait a second.
Swerve! It's Swerve!
Strickland, he said! It's open season on the box! And the Swerve stop takes out the EVPs!
I'm digging this one! And listen, the fans are going bananas!
This place has come unglued! As now Swerve sends Matthew over the barricade. See you later, Nicholas!
Oh, this history-making night is unforgettable!
And back in the ring, T.O.
Oh, he's just so strong as Joe. And so's Claudio.
Moxley driven down by Claudio, the uppercut, Shibata the high boot. And now Shibata clearing Claudio Castagnoli out of the ring. As now the sleeper on the ramp.
Got to get him in the ring, Excalibur.
And look at this Claudio, he's fading at the top of the ramp. And Shibata, PK!
On the sternum.
And now Shibata, he's neutralizing Claudio Castagnoli on the ramp. Samoa Joe, he's looking for the muscle buster on Moxley. But Wheeler Yuta there to break it up.
He did break it up successfully. Or it could have ended. No doubt. Watch out.
Yuta.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Wheeler Yuta, elbow bite on our desk.
Watch out. Marina with a freaking chair.
Shafir with the chair. Willow wipes her out. Back inside the ring, Moxley. He's got Samoa Joe. He's looking for Death Rider. Joe transitions in. Kikina clutch. Kikina clutch is in. The assist from Swerve Strickland, the assist from Willow Nightingale.
Somewhere you got to realize that Hook is smiling.
Champions Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs, the Opps.
Tony, a seemingly unlikely trio. Katsuyori Shibata, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs, but one that has a perfect record when competing as a trio. And just under 3 months ago, defeated the Death Riders to win those AEW World Trios Championships.
So the Death Riders obviously have some payback in mind, but you know, when I look at Gabe Kidd, he's like a caged animal almost. When I see Joe, and I know everyone wins, everyone loses in wrestling. That's the way it is. I mean, there's wins and losses, but when Joe walks to the ring, he almost looks invincible to me. The way he presents himself, the way he... And look at this. We're starting already, Excalibur.
Yeah, we are off to the races here in Arlington. The Opps sliding in. Pairing off.
Joe immediately going for Wheeler Yuta, reigniting that clash from Wednesday night on Dynamite.
And now Hobbs and Joe battering Claudio Castagnoli as Yuta coming in from behind, and Katsuyori Shibata and Gabe Kidd, they have a long history together. Katsuyori Shibata, one of the men who trained Gabe Kidd at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo, and it was Gabe Kidd, though, that got the victory this past Saturday in Collision one-on-one.
Isn't this amazing? We're like 1 minute into the first match, and already they're brawling on the floor.
You had to know after what happened this past week on Collision, Shibata was going to come out firing. Gabe Kidd with a low blow and pile driver to a man whose career was almost ended because of head issues.
A man who taught him as well.
Kidd and Shibata attempting to stand their ground, center of the ring, but double-handed chop takes down Shibata, but Shibata, that elbow strike caught Kidd right underneath the jaw, and both men down. Now the accumulation of those strikes finally showing their toll.
But both men back up on their haunches and now to their feet. Again, the Bushido fighting spirit.
Shibata caught him with that. Kidd, he went down, and now Shibata with the advantage.
Absolutely. Kick him when he is down. A guy like Kidd, do not let him get up.
The tag goes to Samoa Joe.
And tag made to Wheeler Yuta. There's Joe that picked up the victory on Wheeler Yuta this past Wednesday night at Dynamite. The Kikina clutch. Yuta, the immediate tap out. Joe.
Has spent a lot of time with John Moxley, other members of the Death Riders, working on his grappling abilities, submission avoidance as well. Joe has such a power and a size advantage against Yuta. Very hard for this young man.
Attempting to use his technique, a drop toe hold. Easier said than done when attempted on Samoa Joe, as Joe takes that tight headlock.
So equally feared and revered in the industry, certainly violence manifest. Found the perfect blend in the running mates that he has in the Opps, but as Powerhouse Hobbs comes in there, taking the attention of the official, we should probably talk about the cold-hearted, handsome elephant in the room, being the man that Hobbs.
Seemingly former member of the Opps, Hook. He was injured by Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, still out of action. He made his return that Anarchy in the Arena match, taking out Claudio Castagnoli courtesy of a golf club, but shared a very cold look with Samoa Joe. Joe was happy to see Hook, but Hook did not seem to return the sentiment.
Did not put out the welcome mat, certainly, and one wonders, oh, Joe not concerned about that right now, though. After the victory this past Wednesday, certainly Joe's got to feel confident. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't open your face up to Joe like that. He's got one of the best jabs in all of AEW.
Wow. I'm not sure that Wheeler Yuta had any say in the matter. As Samoa Joe Enziguri staggers the young member of the Death Riders, as Powerhouse Hobbs seeing his first legal action of the match.
The chant of meat goes out. They like meat here in Texas, from what I understand.
They say they know a thing or two about that. Not too far from the stockyards here in DFW. There's Powerhouse Hobbs with Yuta in his grip. Yuta finds himself inverted, delayed vertical suplex by Hobbs. Hobbs drives him down.
All the blood rushed to the head of Wheeler Yuta, who now will do his best to get out of that corner.
And Nigel, to your point, I mean, the blood rushes to your head, but when you come crashing down like that, the blood just returns immediately to all of your extremities. It's very, very destabilizing.
Disorienting, certainly. That can play a factor as well. But again, Wheeler Yuta, who has suffered his cover.
Lateral press.
Suffered a lot in the Death Riders in terms of, I don't want to say being the whipping boy, but certainly, you know, when there's a difficult task to be done, Wheeler Yuta gets it.
You can say whipping boy. I mean, I often thought that he was held hostage by John Moxley, or...
Yeah, but it turns out he's just brainwashed.
Brainwashed, that's the word.
Look at that.
And now...
Well, Wheeler Yuta's in a tough spot here. Oh, wow.
But Yuta, I mean, I have to say, to his credit, has been toughened up by the hard lessons from John Moxley, the AEW World Champion, from Claudio Castagnoli, from Gabe Kidd, even from the Bastard Pack as well.
I have to agree, that's some tough guys to learn from.
Oh, look at that.
Yuta takes down Katsuyori Shibata, and in comes Claudio Castagnoli.
Castagnoli, the linchpin of the Death Riders. Sinewy, strong.
Castagnoli collected the pinfall victory this past Wednesday night over Katsuyori Shibata in that huge all-star 8-person tag team match. And now these two picking up right where they left off just 3 days ago.
European uppercut of Castagnoli, as good as anyone. Primed. Wham, look how quick that is.
Look at that, they are just eating each other's European uppercut and coming back for more.
Castagnoli, who has the height advantage on Shibata, able to get a little bit deeper. Wow!
Castagnoli really wound up with that one, but Shibata comes flying in with the boot. And now Shibata may have the advantage. The drop kick in the corner, Shibata on target. Yeah. Now cover made, again, lateral press. Castagnoli able to kick out.
Shibata, who they're making the tag to Samoa Joe. Step off, perhaps, again, after that pile driver on Collision this week. Maybe not 100%.
Now, these two men, Samoa Joe, Claudio, have known each other very, very intensely since '06. back in Ring of Honor when they were there.
Now cover made, the far leg hooked. Claudio able to kick out.
I'm coming for you, boy. Yeah, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Gabe Kidd has done on a number of occasions with Samoa Joe.
God, for as how typically collected Samoa Joe is, Gabe Kidd is so great at trash talking and baiting in opponents and having them make unforced errors like Samoa Joe just did, as Hobbs trying to appeal to referee Rick Knox, but the Death Riders and the mercenary Gabe Kidd going to work on Joe on the floor.
Gabe Kidd spent plenty of time in a mental hospital, from what I understand, in England, seeing someone drink their own urine, so that might have an effect on your brain. Dare I say, Tony?
Where do you get this information from?
I watch, I do my...
this is
he did
crazy.
an interview with RJ City. It's called Doing Research, Tony.
Now repeated shots to the midsection of Samoa Joe and a right hand into the jaw. Gabe Kidd, who's not a small man by any standards, giving up size to Samoa Joe, but very powerful hands, Nigel.
Yeah, and now biting. Utah getting a little bit of payback and retribution as well, and certainly Gabe Kidd coming over here off camera, giving Tony Schiavone a shellacking as well.
And Kidd called this a domination. Right now, I mean, he's not far off. As Claudio just launching himself at Shibata, and a very frustrated Hobbs being cautioned by referee Rick Knox.
Guarantee you, John Moxley, the leader. Whoa, the Death Riders.
That's an explosion out of the corner.
He's had a word to Yuta and Castagnoli about how important this match is, what it would do for Moxley and the Death Riders to add momentum, to reclaim those trios titles.
I mean, it really would set the tone for the night for the Death Riders, opening the event by reclaiming the World Trios Championships and then closing it down potentially with John Moxley remaining with his grip around the AEW World Championship.
We talked earlier, Tony, about the perception of Samoa Joe on the way to the ring. It's the perception, wins and losses, opening out All In. That could be a big factor. Ooh, that rolling barrel kick. Oh, and the nose of Castagnoli flattened into the mat.
This big, bruising, strong man just throwing their bodies at each other and their heads. And
they are crammed in here. Globe Life Field, and in comes the meat.
And fans, you can find your favorite AEW stars and official AEW merchandise by searching Shop the Show in your Amazon shopping app. As Powerhouse Hobbs going to work on the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd.
boy, Hobbs. You're looking at a man that ranks third in singles wins with 88 in his career. How about that for a number? Of all the great singles matches we've had.
Hit from behind. Oh, Kidd taking off his feet.
Wrong thing to do. Hobbs maybe made a big mistake by turning his attention, but then maybe not.
Boom! What a spine buster by Hobbs! The cover! No, Yuta intervenes.
The granite and irascible Powerhouse Hobbs taken down now. As Kidd, he's a madman.
Kidd receiving the contact from Powerhouse Hobbs, but some power there from Claudio Castagnoli. The uppercut, the cover, and very nearly the win.
How about how high he put Powerhouse Hobbs in the air? And Claudio now saying, up Yuta. And here comes Yuta.
Claudio and Yuta, they've used that fastball special effectively, but the strength.
Whoa, watch this.
Claudio very nearly unparalleled. Is maybe a doomsday device situation here. From midair! 1, 2, no!
No way Castagnoli was going to allow that to get to 3.
Well, that was brand new. Never had seen that before, and that was amazing from Powerhouse.
Now Yuta finding himself isolated by the Opps. Joe capping it off, the snapmare center of the ring, the PK! Katsuyori Shibata, the cover. Two. Castagnoli there to break it up.
Great opening match. I tell you, Opps looking great. They have come back many, many times.
As Hobbs trying to drag Claudio Castagnoli to the floor. Castagnoli and Hobbs battling it out. As Gabe Kidd looking for the tag. Oh, wait a second. Claudio Castagnoli on the floor. The giant swing into the barricade.
Wasn't much of a swing, but boy, it had an impact. Oh, Smike. Right now, we're going to have a two-on-two here.
I don't know, though. Out on the outside, Castagnoli. Probably more likely of the two to get back in the ring, but wait a second.
Shibata and Yuta, they've had their share of battles. Cover here, German suplex. Their share of battles for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship in the past.
Absolutely.
And Gabe Kidd,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, very familiar with Katsuyori Shibata as well. And Shibata fired up, and he ate a jaw to the right hand to the jaw. A sheer drop brainbuster. The cover, and Shibata kicking out barely a one.
Once again, the fighting spirit of Shibata.
He's taken so much punishment the last few days after the punishment he took Thursday that we discussed against
Nigel, you mentioned that the head injury that very nearly ended Katsuyori Shibata's career. It is not lost on Gabe Kidd that it came from a headbutt very similar to that.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd,
That's
more
dirty
than
pool.
willing to do whatever it takes to win. No compunction.
Uh-oh. Here he comes. Slugfest going on. Like we mentioned earlier, two men who've known each other since Ring of Honor in 06.
Well, this is Gabe Kidd and Samoa Joe. Hammer.
Oh, yes!
And the power slam. The cover, the tight cover, but Castagnoli intervenes.
To my point, Castagnoli took out Hobbs on the outside, which allowed him to get in, and now has allowed him to get the advantage back in the favor of the Death Riders.
As Castagnoli calling out the plays to Wheeler Yuta, maybe think of that fastball special they've used, that assisted splash.
Exactly right, Excalibur.
Way up there, but Hobbs.
Oh, man.
Steaming in, smashes into Castagnoli. Gabe Kidd goes to the outside with Hobbs. Shibata.
No, he's in the wrong place.
Shibata comes in, the kick, and Samoa Joe caps it off. Muscle Buster!
AEW World Trios Champions, the Opps.
Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 789 pounds, they are the reigning and defending AEW World Trios Champions, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe, the Opps.
AEW 世界フルーチャー柴田勝アーホンハウスサモア町ザ・オープン戦
The Opps, the reigning, defending AEW World Trios Champions, was earlier this year Dynamite Spring Breakthrough that they won the titles. But now they find themselves with some very interesting opposition in the form of the Bullet Club War Dogs, who are also members of the War Dogs alongside Gabe Kidd, the mercenary enlisted by Jon Moxley to join in the main event tonight. Can Gabe Kidd's stablemates in the War Dogs set the tone for the evening here with a victory over the Opps?
Well, we just said Clark Connors, Katsuyori Shibata. Of course, Clark Connors was under the tutelage, the training of Shibata. Coming up as a young lion in the New Japan system. No stranger to AEW fans. Made his debut here in AEW in the four-way at Forbidden Door 2022, competing for the international title.
Yeah, much like Clark Connors and his association with Katsuyori Shibata, Gabe Kidd also was under the tutelage, the mentorship of Katsuyori Shibata as well. So the War Dogs really straying from the fighting spirit, the ethos of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And Connors, though, bringing the violence. Connors and Drilla Maloney, of course, two-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. Shibata swinging a miss on the PK.
Now, Shibata, though, the knee strike finds its target. Connors sent to the outside, and Shibata maybe hoping to teach his former pupil a lesson as Shibata sends Connors hard into the barricade.
Certainly did, looking for another.
Ooh! Yeah, Connors getting bounced around all over the O2. Katsuyori Shibata making it look easy, and you know, I'd like to think that's not something we see come out a lot from Katsuyori Shibata. He's prone to those bouts of violence, but I think that's really the association with Powerhouse Hobbs, Samoa Joe, that helps bring it out of Shibata.
And I think standing across the ring from his former protege may have brought that out as well. Just the disappointment he felt in Connors. Now the tag mate, Drilla Maloney, and this is where I think Bullet Club War Dogs have the advantage here, Excalibur. 2/3 of this team has been a unit for over 3 years now. You can't say the same about the Opps.
No, but Katsuyori Shibata able to fight out of the grip of Maloney. Makes the tag out to Samoa Joe, but Maloney and Joe now starting things off. You mentioned Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, but Maloney recently graduating to a heavyweight, 100 kilograms plus, putting on size, but Joe putting on a headbutt on Drilla.
Don't care how big you are, that headbutt is going to take anybody down to size, but it's Maloney with a drop kick.
Oh, and the drop kick takes Joe down.
He always had that explosive power. Drilla Maloney did.
The Birmingham, England native Drilla Maloney now trying to anchor Samoa Joe down as Robbie X tagging in X, the addition to the junior heavyweight component of the Bullet Club War Dogs.
This dog's barking up the wrong tree right now as these jabs from Samoa Joe have X reeling.
And Robbie gets the boot up, and you see the quickness. And nobody home.
How smooth is Joe?
Oh. And fans just 8 minutes away from Forbidden Door, live on pay-per-view at the top of the hour. You can join us on pay-per-view via Prime Video, YouTube, ppv.com, traditional cable and satellite providers, Triller TV, Dave & Buster's, Tom's Watch Bar, locations nationwide, and main event. And as Katsuyori Shibata creates some distance, the drop kick in the corner. You can drop into our coverage of Forbidden Door on Prime Video by scanning that QR code at the bottom of your screen. Shibata!
Nice float over there into the cover. 2.
Pinfall made, and now Shibata maybe looking to prime the pump for that PK. Usually likes to get his opponent a bit drowsy, a bit dazed via the sleeper hold.
And we could be seeing it here. That's a great call, Excalibur, as Robbie X down. Now off the ropes, Connors!
Clark Connors, if there's anybody that knows the playbook of Katsuyori Shibata, it's his former student, Clark Connors.
And it is Connors now sending Shibata into the barricade again.
Yeah, Connors trying to return the favor, and now look at this. Connors, man, Powerhouse Hobbs ate one and took one with authority. But now, Drilla Maloney, cheap shot there on Samoa Joe. Joe's head bounced off those steel steps.
But all of this, Excalibur, has the Opps thinking, has them reacting. And right now, that puts the match back into the column of the War Dogs as we are less than 7 minutes away from Forbidden Door. Some huge championship bouts. MJF challenging Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World title. The Women's World Championship on the line as Athena challenges Toni Storm.
And don't forget the AEW World Tag Team Championship on the line. 3-way match. Wait a second, Robbie X now the cover. 2. Yeah, it will be the Hurt Syndicate facing FTR and Bandito and Brody King. After the time limit draw we witnessed Wednesday in Glasgow. Wow. Robbie X, great stalling senton. 2.
Nice tight cover there. And of course the 4-way for the TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné.
She's going to have her work cut out for her, facing Alex Windsor representing AEW, Bozilla representing Japan Stardom, and Persephone representing Mexico CMLL.
All that and more. Kyle Fletcher with the TNT Championship. He'll be defending it against the Time Bomb, Hiromu Takahashi.
Now Drilla Maloney though, lateral press 1. As Katsuyori Shibata, quick kick out.
And this is where the War Dogs go to work. Excalibur in the corner. This great tag team combination. Connors and Maloney know each other so well. And of course, the Unified Championship is on the line here tonight as well.
And the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, the AEW Unified Champion, will be facing Swerve Strickland tonight. A match will be competed under Continental rules, but right now, Shibata able to kick out.
And that's a dream match. That is a match where if I could pick any match and set it here in AEW, that would be the one that I would want to see. But the one that Nigel wants to see is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship as he challenges Zack Sabre Jr. here tonight in London.
For the first time ever, Zack Sabre Jr., Nigel McGuinness, one-on-one. But right now, Clark Connors pouring on the chops. Katsuyori Shibata. Absorbing all that contact. Oh, no. Connors changing levels, gouging the eyes. Connors trying to go, wait. Shibata anticipated the back heel, trip drives Connors down.
Looking to make a tag, and in for the first time legally, it's Powerhouse Hobbs.
Hobbs takes down Maloney, takes down X. Now shoulder tackle. Look how he just hoisted him up and set Robbie X down. Powerhouse Hobbs, he's fired up.
Ooh. And Hobbs gonna give it to you, X, in the corner.
A 2-for-1 there by Powerhouse Hobbs. And Drilla Maloney getting drilled in the corner. Hobbs short arm lariat.
And Hobbs selectively in for the first time.
Whoa! Connors, the chop block.
Wow, beautiful rolling heels there. Bullet Club War Dogs. Back fist connects from Maloney. And it's Connors in the corner charging in. Big time splash. X with a clothesline. And now they have Hobbs isolated. Inside on the hamstring, up the ladder. Spinning kick, rattles Hobbs. Then it's the War Dogs, 3-on-1. High-low on Hobbs.
That's where the tag team familiarity of the Bullet Club War Dogs pays off. The Cancun Tornado, the cover. Hobbs able to kick out.
And Hobbs in big time trouble now as the War Dogs really finding their lane, finding that confidence. Excalibur.
Yeah, they certainly are. As Drilla Maloney now trying, but Hobbs, you see Hobbs anchored tight. But Maloney pounding down across the back, the spine of Powerhouse Hobbs. We'll look for that Drilla killer maybe, but no. Powerhouse Hobbs, spine on the pine.
Plants Maloney, he needs to make a tag, does Hobbs, and he gets Joe.
Maloney finds some relief in the corner. It's Robbie X who walked into those waiting right hands from Samoa Joe. Joe moving with purpose, moving with speed. And now Joe, hammer throw, sends Robbie into the corner. Power slam, 1, 2, no, Connors there to break it up.
And Maloney right there with him as Connors and Maloney.
Oh, and Ghetto.
Oh, Ghetto's up.
Getting caught by referee Aubrey Edwards, but maybe a diversionary tactic to allow Connors and Maloney to get the 2-on-1 assault on Samoa Joe.
Unfortunately, it's a win-win move for Joe, for Ghetto to be there as X now all the way up top. Connors.
Oh, Shibata caught Robbie X on the ascent. And got caught it. Wait a second.
Tez press on Maloney. Sleeper for Connors. And Excalibur Joe's got X.
Samoa Joe. Muscle Buster. That has got to be it. 1, 2, 3.
Here are your winners, and still the AEW World Trios Champions, the Opps.
Oh, the Opps capping off the action.
It's going to be a heck of a match this Friday.
Watch ROH.com. Death Before Dishonor. Mina Shirakawa challenges Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship.
This bout set going ball with a 16-minute time limit is for the AEW World Trios Championship. Introducing the challenger at a total combined weight of 745 pounds, Toa Leona, Bishop Khan, and Lose some love for Ricochet.
Taz, it was Forbidden Door's 0 hour. This team of Ricochet, Khan, and Toa Leona picked up a big trios win, but that wasn't the end of the night for them. They got involved in the three-way match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Basically took the Hurt Syndicate out of the proceedings.
Yeah, they sure did. Shocking moment for sure, but these three guys are deadly guys. With Ricochet at the helm, he's a clever, smart guy. He's hated and he's bald, but he's smart.
Kind of like you.
Yes, thank you. That's well said. You're right. You're right.
Shivani again.
And their opponents, at a total combined weight of 789 pounds, they are the reigning and defending All Elite Wrestling Trios Champions, Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, the Opps!
Ian, after fending off the challenge of the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, and Robbie X at Forbidden Door 0 hour, now coming back to the States, coming to Philadelphia, having to defend the Trios Championship for the second time in less than a week.
It's a breakneck schedule for the Opps, but Philadelphia has been kind to Samoa Joe over the years, cementing his legacy in Ring of Honor in this city, now leading a team. And I just want to clarify for the record, much like this crowd loves Samoa Joe, Taz, you're not hated. All those statements got an ovation almost as, I would say, arguably as loud as anybody else here tonight.
Oh, no, I appreciate that.
Oh,
Joe, respect to your point about Joe and his history here in Philadelphia in this building.
Referee Aubrey Edwards drawing the assignment for this huge Trios Championship title match. Ricochet, he's found some very potent reinforcements in Bishop Khan and Toa Leona, Taz.
Yeah, I mean, they are two big, nasty men on that apron, and Ricochet definitely has a couple of blue chippers.
And I think he needs to. His mouth is writing checks sometimes that gets into situations that he can't quite cash.
He definitely has a big mouth.
Yeah.
Hammer throw attempted by Ricochet. Hobbs,
Not a good idea.
anchoring himself, center of the ring. Hobbs, oh no, Ricochet rolls off the back, ducks underneath. Ricochet, the head scissors, but Hobbs catches, and now Hobbs, clubbing shot.
Tag out, Ricochet. That was a shot and a half.
And it's amazing here in Philadelphia, Ricochet proudly wears that Eagles hat. Still disliked by this crowd despite saying, "Go Birds!"
Well, Bishop Khan's legal right now. He tagged, unbeknownst to Hobbs, he tagged the back Excalibur of Ricochet.
Yeah, it was a blind tag. Hobbs did not realize it, and Bishop Khan, very opportune time for him to come in, but Hobbs leaves his feet. Big time shoulder tackle.
Smart by Hobbs to bring his opponent to the corner there to tag in Shibata. Good move.
Katsuyori Shibata and Bishop Khan teeing off. Center of the ring, 2300 Arena, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Not going to win a striking battle with Shibata. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, for as powerful as Bishop Khan is, Shibata, I mean, he's just got that technique down to a T.
Yeah, and he's battle tested for decades, being striked upon. But Bishop Khan's looking good here with his chops.
And from one iconic venue to another, both these teams picked up wins on Sunday. And now just purpling the chest, those blood vessels popped.
Shibata changes levels, needed the midsection.
You're right, from the 0-2 to here, to 2300 in South Philly, and now Shibata is wearing out Bishop Khan.
And Khan down in the corner. Katsuyori Shibata. Drop kick. Khan tried to cover up, but it was just too hot coming in from Katsuyori Shibata.
He's got an under and over. Nice throw by Shibata.
Shibata floats over. Ooh, a 1 count. You see the redness also rising on the chest. Katsuyori Shibata after that prolonged chop exchange.
Bishop Khan is a big, strong athlete. You're going to feel those chops.
Shibata, oh, no. Khan catches Shibata on the way in with the elbow. And the boot. Shibata. Now, oh, Ricochet needed a lower back, and Khan takes down Shibata. As Ricochet, Toa, and Khan go to work. This AEW World Trios Championship match continues on Dynamite.
Very pleased with themselves.
Look at that. Ain't not pretty. Ain't not pretty.
He may be pretty, but spooks
He ran
easily.
from Aubrey. Oh,
Wow.
scared of his own shadow.
That's when you talk a lot of trash, when you're always looking over your shoulder. You don't know.
Running from the ref. Oh, man, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Jeez.
He's gotten under so many people's skin, Taz, that he's expecting it from all angles.
You're right. You're right. He never knows when he's going to get attacked, Ricochet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And
That was good stuff. Tagged out by Toa. Big Toa. Oof, this guy here.
And normally the EAGLES chants
What?
have turned into BALD.
That was a lot of lettering.
Why?
Well, product of the New York City public school system, buddy. Slow down.
Snapmare out of the corner by Bishop Khan. Ricochet, legal man. Senton by Ricochet. Covered. Shoot.
So talented, though, Ricochet. He
Yeah,
does so many athletic things.
And it was a good move by Ricochet, too. He captured the arms of Shibata and the leg to prevent a rope break, forcing Shibata to work for the kickout.
Yeah, veteran maneuver. What a maneuver.
Into the neutral corner now.
I always wanted to say that on the air. I just did.
You doing your Shivani impression again?
No, somebody else.
I'd like to send our thoughts to Tony.
What happened?
He's just not here tonight.
Stealing my bet now.
That is your bit.
Well, if it's good, it's nice snapmare there. Gotta borrow it, right?
Kokeshi there from Ricochet.
Stealing Honda's bit with the big headbutt. A longtime foe of Katsuyori Shibata.
As Toa Leona tagging in.
And Leona, just his physical transformation, Taz, has been nothing short of remarkable. Just,
Toa, yeah, he's just a mammoth athlete. Super athletic is Toa, too. But he should, in my opinion, is just don't take your time with an athlete like Shibata.
Keep
veteran
the
is
pressure
dangerous.
on.
Yeah, you got to keep the pressure on. You're right, XCOM. But when you have that power and size, one chop dropped Shibata, but Shibata's taking a lot of offense.
Yeah, he certainly has. And you see Shibata really needs some relief. Got to get that tag to either Samoa Joe or Powerhouse Hobbs.
Dreaded nerve hold. This thing will numb the left side of your body. He's got it on the left side of his trap.
You notice Shibata, though, he's trying to move inch by inch towards the ropes, but now up to his feet. Oh. The AEW World Trios Championships on the line tonight, live on Dynamite. The Opps, Katsuyori Shibata, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs looking to fend off Ricochet, Toa Leona, and Bishop Khan, and it is Leona that just landed a devastating lariat on Shibata.
smart move here, Taz, bringing him back. Shibata back to the challenger's corner.
Absolutely.
And Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs, all they can do is watch.
Shibata slipping behind Ricochet. The snap. Oh!
Well, that might shut Ricochet out.
A swift kick by Katsuyori Shibata and an even swifter tag out to Bishop Khan. As Khan holding on to that wrist of Shibata, making sure that he doesn't tag in either of the two men on the outside for Shibata's side.
Whoa! Nice out a leg sweep right there with a head and arm trap version of a Osotogari for those judo enthusiasts.
And Powerhouse Hobbs tags in. Ricochet sent for a loop. Khan goes down. And now Toa Leona and Hobbs legal and teeing off on one another, center of the ring.
Oh, Philly loves the big men. They love Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, and we got two of the biggest, two of the toughest here in the center of the ring.
Hobbs very nearly got the better of Toa, but Toa, the chop across the throat. And Leona now hammering Hobbs in the corner.
A little too much time there.
Sidestep and Hobbs. Hobbs just wearing out Toa Leona in the corner.
Oh, got two big semis here.
And Hobbs finally gets the better of Toa. And fans, special programming note coming up this Saturday, Collision live, coast to coast, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TNT, HBO MAX. Right now, Samoa Joe firing those right hands with ricochet kick to the midsection. Wow! Power slam senton from Samoa Joe. 2, and Ricochet able to kick out.
I don't know how Ricochet just kicked out of that, but that was impressive. Joe's on fire here.
Yeah, first the power slam, and then the senton driving all the air out of Ricochet.
And Samoa Joe, he was looking for the muscle buster in the corner, but Toa Leona intervened. Bishop Khan, big drop kick. Oh, wow! Sending Samoa Joe with that shoulder tackle. And now, oh, wow! This time it's Toa Leona taking Hobbs off his feet. Ooh! Khan takes down. Bottom! But the STO in the corner.
Yeah, Samoa Joe shut him down. Watch out, Ricochet with that springboard drop kick.
Springboard drop kick from Ricochet. Now Ricochet running shooting star press. Covers made. 2. Shibata there to break it up.
And Joe may have needed that after that great sequence of moves, stringing some high-impact moves together.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. Rear choke trying to get applied. He's got the legs into Shibata on Big Toa.
Toa Leona.
And smart there.
Going outside as Katsuyori Shibata.
Shibata don't want to let go. Don't blame him.
Oh, wait. Wait a second. Is that? Oh, it's MVP.
Referee never saw that.
Oh, stop.
Oh, boss down. Jeez.
PK. The PK, and things just going from bad to worse. Kikina clutch. Cinched in. Ricochet. Ricochet is out, but MVP getting a little payback.
AEW World Trios Champions, the Opps.
MVP getting a payback on Ricochet, Toa Leona, and Bishop Khan for their involvement in the AEW World Tag Team Championship title match this past Sunday at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, inadvertent assist for the Opps by MVP. I mean, MVP just wanted to get even or get something on Ricochet.
Yeah,
that cane shot really could have realigned some vertebrae in your neck and spine. Hopefully Ricochet's all right.
How about the Opps? Victorious here tonight as...
I'll tell you, Ricochet don't look too good. Can't even stand up.
Oh, he's...
This basketball and ball is for the AEW World Trios Championship. Introducing the challengers, being accompanied by Sammy Guevara, Tralistico, Rush, the Beast Mortos, La Facción Ingobernable.
Fans, if you happen to miss the seismic shift that happened in Ring of Honor, yes, Rush and Sammy Guevara are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions because Sammy Guevara has joined La Facción Ingobernable, a very surprising development, but making this unit even more formidable. And Hangman, I think the Opps, the champs, the AEW World Trios champions, are going to have their work cut out for them here tonight.
I think they will. I think they will. With Sammy here at ringside with his shirt buttoned all the way down, I think they will. They'll have their work cut out for them.
I mean, why even button it at that point?
Right.
Well, it was Katsuyori Shibata this past Saturday at Collision that threw out the challenge to LFI, La Facción Ingobernable. More than happy to accept this battle for the AEW World Trios Championship here tonight.
And their opponents at a total combined weight of 789 pounds. They are the AEW World Trios Champions, Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs,
Samoa Joe has the opportunity to not only become a two-time AEW World Champion this Saturday at Wrestle Dream, but also the first man to ever hold the AEW World Championship, the AEW World Trios Championship simultaneously. But in order to do so, he will have to go through the man to our left, the AEW Men's World Champion, Hangman Adam Page.
And I want to make it clear, I've said this to Samoa Joe, I gave him this opportunity not because he begged and screamed and asked for it and demanded it, but because I owe it to him, and I look forward to it.
Well, Samoa Joe, like so many others, instrumental in fending off the Death Riders earlier this summer at All in Texas, which cleared the way for Hangman Adam Page to dethrone Jon Moxley for that AEW World Championship.
We have seen some hard-hitting matches in this 2 hours. We got another hour to go, but I'm telling you, I don't think you're going to find a harder-hitting match than what we're about to see.
As you see Beast Mordos, Powerhouse Hobbs starting things off for their respective sides. Both Mordos and Hobbs to the rope, shoulder tackle. Neither man willing to give ground. Mordos comes up clutching that shoulder, but perhaps a ruse to deliver a headbutt. Mordos powerful clothesline in the corner, but Hobbs, the body block. Repeated blows in the corner by 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions. Dralistico got caught creeping in, but that opened up Powerhouse Hobbs with a boot and a sling blade from the middle rope by the Beast Mordos.
Can't turn your back on Hobbs, though. Look, he's rumbling up now.
Discus lariat avoided by Hobbs. Hobbs, though, delivers a powerful shoulder tackle, taking Mordos off his feet. Now Roosh. Roosh calling up Shibata.
Yes, sir. Shibata wanted this, like you mentioned. Excalibur.
Shibata and Hobbs, or excuse me, Shibata and Roosh had a very heated one-on-one battle earlier this summer, and now Shibata getting the better of Roosh here, the elbow exchange. And walk through the chop from Roosh, and Hangman, I have to ask you, are you surprised at all that Samoa Joe has not seen action yet in this title contest?
No, I'm not. He's biding his time. He's waiting for the absolute right instrumental moment to come in. Smart of him.
Hangman, you've been in the ring with Roosh in a trios match yourself. What do you make of him?
He's tough as hell. I was going to say, you don't want to get in a chop fight with Shibata, but I think maybe Roosh does.
Yeah, when I saw you two fight each other, I was blown away, and I was like, oh, I'd love to see that as a title match.
Headbutt delivered into the jaw of Shibata. Roosh on the move, swing. Back heel trip there by Katsuyori Shibata. But you can see the effects of this striking exchange evident on both men.
So much talent in the ring, so many champions all around.
Oh, Joe's reaching for that tag.
There he goes.
Samoa Joe does get the tag, relieving Katsuyori Shibata, now stepping into the ring with Beast Mordos.
A little bit of attitude from Joe.
Well, you know, last week there was some attitude as well.
I think so.
When you and he were, and I was in the ring with you, that face-to-face.
And Mordos just smacked Joe in the face, absolutely wrong move, and he's gonna pay for it.
Yeah, Joe using those quick hands to punish the jaw of the Beast Mordos. On the hammer throw into the corner, Joe on the move, and Zingiri connects.
It's amazing, isn't it, Hangman, a guy that size, and he's looking over here towards you, that can move like that.
Oh yeah, he's an absolute Christmas ham of a man, and he can move like no other.
I like that.
Mordos into the waiting boot of Katsuyori Shibata. The Opps going to work here. Snapmare and Shibata on the, Shibata!
Man.
A kick to the face of Roosh Dralistico.
Yeah, this is personal between Shibata and Roosh, no doubt.
Yeah, he put himself into the lion's den to go over and give Roosh a big boot.
And now LFI going at the Opps in the corner. Now 3-on-1 for Katsuyori Shibata being singled out by the challengers. Now the arm captured of Katsuyori Shibata, tag out, and Roosh the kick. Hammer throw across the ring. Katsuyori Shibata lined up. Jarlistico in first. Then comes Mordos. Roosh rolls Shibata out. LFI triple drop kick as the AEW World Trios Championship on the line. Who will prevail? We will find out live here on TBS and HBO Max.
Shibata was clutching his knee that time, guys, on that triple drop kick.
Yeah, I didn't see the landing of all three members of LFI, but it's very possible that somebody came down on the leg of Katsuyori Shibata.
Right. Yeah.
Which is bad news for the Opps.
Yeah, Shibata especially just coming back from that injury sustained when Daniel Garcia gave him the curb stomp.
Yeah, the despicable Death Riders. But right now, Jarlistico, the cover, Shibata able to kick out, and Hangman, despite the language barrier, Katsuyori Shibata is somebody that has been fully embraced by the AEW locker room and has really become something of a locker room leader here.
He's an absolute legend. Yeah, I think we've all watched Shibata throughout the years. He's somebody we all respect and look up to, and I'm really glad we have him here in AEW.
Right now, Jarlistico targeting that knee of Katsuyori Shibata. Smart move by the challengers, Brian. Noticing that Shibata came up clutching that left knee after the triple drop kick.
Yeah, very observant by Jarlistico, because Shibata only, he only grabbed it for just a second, but that was enough for Jarlistico to notice. Now attacking the leg.
Mordos, senton, covered, Shibata. Smart move there. He was close to the ropes. Got his foot on the ropes to get the break, but Samoa Joe got his foot in between the shoulder blades of the Beast Mordos. Now cover made. Shibata kicking out quickly.
Yeah, Hangman, when you're out here and you're watching Samoa Joe, what are you looking for right now?
Weaknesses. Looking for weaknesses. I'm sure going to need to find them. I don't know. So far, I haven't.
Yeah, you're going to have to look hard. I'll tell you that.
And what do you think? What advantages do you think? Oh my goodness!
Oh,
that's got to be a DQ. Did nobody see that?
No, Aubrey was turned to the other way.
Yeah, she had her attention on LFI. As Katsuyori Shibata caught low. I think if Mordos was caught, he might have said that was to the inside of the thigh, Tony, not the...
Well, I don't know. That's not what he targeted.
I doubt that.
Yeah, and especially the way that Shibata dropped. I mean, Shibata's done a lot of kickboxing, taken a lot of inside leg kicks. He would have been dropped by an inside leg kick. That was directly to the groin.
Roosh pulls up short, and that kick to the face. Absolute disrespect to Katsuyori Shibata, and then the pair of fingers to Samoa Joe as well.
Oh, you don't want to disrespect Shibata like this.
Roosh really feeling like LFI has this match in hand. This special 3-hour presentation of AEW live on TBS and HBO Max. AEW World Trios Championship on the line. La Facción and Gobernable have Katsuyori Shibata, 1/3 of the champions, singled out as Jarlistico and the Beast Mordos going to work. Oh, Shibata clipping the back of the head on the bottom rope. Very dangerous for Shibata. Cover 2. Katsuyori Shibata, Brian, he's somebody that survived a very scary, it was very nearly career and life-ending brain injury just a few years ago.
100%. And you know, those ropes, quote-unquote ropes, they're not actually ropes, they're steel cables. And he hit the back of his head against that cable. I'm mildly concerned looking at his face right now.
You're joined here at the commentary desk by the AEW Men's World Champion Hangman Adam Page, who will step into the ring with Samoa Joe live this Saturday. Wrestle Dream on pay-per-view on HBO Max. One-on-one Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page for the richest prize in our sport. Oh, Shibata Explosive boot into the jaw of Jarlistico. Now Shibata battering down Jarlistico.
Boy, showing a lot of determination and reserve at Shibata.
Big time drop kick in the corner and the point directly at Rouge. Now Shibata floats over, lateral press. Jarlistico kicks out, but Hangman, Shibata doing the smart thing, maintaining wrist control of Jarlistico, not let him get to the LFI corner. Hobbs now into the fray. Taking down all the members of LFI. And now stacking up Mordos and Jarlistico in the corner. And stacking up Rouge as well. Oh, no. Rouge got the boot up. Oh. Hobbs takes them both down. Jarlistico. Unforced error there.
Yeah, you're right. He shouldn't have jumped.
World's most dangerous slam from Powerhouse Hobbs.
And in comes your challenger for the Men's World Championship for this Saturday.
And he's feeling it right now, Hangman.
Oh, he's on fire.
Joe delivers a senton. Now the cover is made. Jarlistico able to kick out. And Hangman, you mentioned that you're looking for weaknesses, for openings for tells here. That's Samoa Joe, the cover, 2. Again, Jarlistico able to kick out. Are you seeing anything thus far from Samoa Joe that could get the gears spinning in your head?
Weaknesses from Samoa Joe, not at all thus far.
Yeah, honestly, Samoa Joe looks like a man possessed. I think you're going to have your hands full at Wrestle Dream.
Now Katsuyori Shibata, the boot. A drop kick to Rouge.
Right now, though, Joe is face down on the left side of the ring like he's hurting here.
Shibata and Rouge battling on the outside. Meanwhile, Jarlistico and Samoa Joe inside the ring, swinging a miss by Samoa Joe. Corkscrew kick. Has the challenger to the AEW World Championship this Saturday stunned. Jarlistico to the top. Joe, no, waist lock. And Kikita clutch. He's got him hooked. Jarlistico is hooked, and he is in deep. Jarlistico is going to sleep. Jarlistico taps out. No, goes to sleep. That is it. The Opps defend the Trios Championship.
Still AEW World Trios Champions, the Opps.
Well, Samoa Joe showing no weaknesses to my eye, Hangman.
None at all.
You are going to be in for a battle of the highest magnitude this Saturday against Samoa Joe. Oh. The Opps attack from behind by LFI. Sammy Guevara.
Oh, you spit at me. You spit at me.
Now Rouge and Guevara trying to bait in Hangman.
All right, well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well,
Hangman.
This may be a mistake.
Putting down the AEW World Championship title.
I mean, this is not a match he's walking into here.
Sure, I mean, the odds are against Hangman, but he doesn't care. He wants to beat Samoa Joe at his best. Come this Saturday, he is trying to take out LFI.
Great point, Excalibur wants to... Uh-oh. He held on.
Rouge. Oh, Sammy Guevara bailing out Rouge. Hangman Page was lined up to deliver the buckshot lariat. As Samoa Joe.
Oh, he's got the AEW World Title belt.
Will Samoa Joe be able to call himself a two-time world champion this Saturday? Has to turn his attention from challenging for the AEW World Championship to defending the AEW World Trios Championship.
Your opening contest, set for one fall with a 16-minute time limit, is for the AEW World Trios Championship. Approaching the ring at a total combined weight of 789 pounds, Powerhouse Hobbs, Katsuyori Shibata, Samoa Joe, the Opps.
Brian, both you and I have known Samoa Joe for a long time. I don't know if it was more shocking to see Samoa Joe lay out Hangman Adam Page or the fact that the Opps were all in on it together.
Yeah, I'm honestly not surprised. I mean, Samoa Joe's an incredible leader, so I wasn't surprised when the Opps joined him. I was mostly surprised by what Samoa Joe did. I mean, I knew what I expected. If Hangman Adam Page had won that match, I expected Samoa Joe to shake his hand, and we did not get that.
And the challenger, at a total combined weight of 795 pounds, they hurt people. MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, the Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate becoming #1 contenders to the AEW World Trios Championships this past Saturday. Wrestle Dream defeating the Demand, getting a measure of revenge over Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona, and now catapulting themselves into a challenge for the AEW World Trios Championship. Brian, this is going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, I would expect a lot of violence in this match. I mean, we have got 6 brutal competitors in this match who, like the song says, they all like to hurt people.
Yeah, it's not just Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and MVP that like to hurt people.
That's right.
The Opps relish in it, and I mean, Samoa Joe, I just have to go back to this, Brian. He wrestled an incredible match against Hangman Adam Page. I don't think there was any shame in losing for Joe, but he should be ashamed of what he did after the match was over.
Yeah, I mean, he gave it everything he had against Hangman Adam Page, who's just an incredible world champion for AEW. And he has nothing to be ashamed about in his performance. But like you said, him turning on Hangman Adam Page, laying him out with the Opps, I was sitting at home watching it disgusted.
Yeah, and the days leading up to Wrestle Dream, we heard a lot of introspection from Samoa Joe. He wasn't sure how many more opportunities to challenge for a world championship would be coming down the line. And maybe that played something into it. We'll only know when we hear Samoa Joe speak for himself. But right now, the action on Dynamite, starting with Katsuyori Shibata, Shelton Benjamin, starting things off for the respective sides. Nice side headlock by by Shibata. Benjamin sending him off into the ropes.
Yeah, what an incredible matchup this is. I mean, you've got Shelton Benjamin, an all-American wrestler. You've got Shibata, who's trained a ton in mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai.
Yeah, Katsuyori Shibata, somebody that's been around professional wrestling his entire life. His father, a former professional wrestler for New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's where Shibata got to start. Now Shelton looking for the ankle lock, but Shibata very deftly counters out of it. And now just a battle of submission attempts here to start off the action. Shibata getting the Jujigatame, but Shelton wisely rolling into it. Shibata forced to abandon ship and gets taken down by Benjamin.
Yeah, as despicable as what Shibata did on Saturday night, that was beautiful mat wrestling that we just saw from both Shelton Benjamin and Katsuyori Shibata.
Now, as talented as Katsuyori Shibata is, this is a bit of a mismatch, physically at least, with Bobby Lashley, but Powerhouse Hobbs tagging in.
Excalibur, who do you think is stronger?
Well, Samoa Joe tagging himself in and covering up the chest of Powerhouse Hobbs. That's my way of not answering you. And now Samoa Joe turned around. Bobby Lashley waiting for him. And now Lashley hammering Joe. First with elbows, now the closed fist. Referee Aubrey Edwards telling Bobby Lashley to open up those very dangerous hands. Samoa Joe reverses the hammer throw into the corner. Follows up. Big elbow strike. Joe jawing with Bobby Lashley. Maybe a bit ill-advised, Ryan.
Yeah. This is you can't give Bobby Lashley any space.
Come on, Joe!
And we saw it there. Joe just gave him a little bit too much time.
Now the hammer throw into the neutral corner. Tag out to Shelton Benjamin. And Benjamin now moving with some urgency, charges in. Joe, the Bandera deposits Shelton on the outside, but Shelton quickly climbing to the top. Finds his footing. Oh, Shelton was ready for it. Joe tried to walk it off. And now elects to tag in Powerhouse Hobbs. Shelton Benjamin turns the corner, comes around with the heel kick. Hobbs is staggered. Oh, maybe not. Not often, Brian, you see Shelton Benjamin moved around with such ease by an opponent.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen Shelton Benjamin picked up like that.
Now Shelton sent to the outside, but Bobby Lashley in there sending Hobbs for a trip. Now Katsuyori Shibata and the high boot. Catching Bobby Lashley on the chin. MVP wipes out Shibata, and now Samoa Joe sent an MVP to the outside. But Shelton Benjamin comes in, big knee strike. And again, Hobbs moving around Shelton with ease. The power slam from Powerhouse Hobbs. And Samoa Joe follows up big time senton as our opening contest continues here tonight, live on HBO Max and TBS. Don't go anywhere.
Excalibur, one of the things that'll be really interesting to see in this match is how Saturday night's match from the Hurt Syndicate, they were in that trios match.
Yeah, Tornado Trios.
The Tornadoes Trios match. It was an absolutely brutal match. Affected all three members. Both Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin got put through tables. It was an intense match. Whereas for the Opps, only Samoa Joe wrestled on Saturday.
Yeah, 2/3 of the champions are coming into this match fresh, or as fresh as you can be as a professional wrestler. But I mean, not only did the Hurt Syndicate have to deal with that tornado tag match with the demand, but it was also the weeks of hostilities between the demand and the Hurt Syndicate. I'm thinking back to the street fight in Jacksonville at our homecoming just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and then last Wednesday, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin suffered their first 2-on-2 tag team loss to the Gates of Agony, to the GOA. So their bodies have been put through a lot the last month. They've really gone through the ringer.
Now, Powerhouse Hobbs looking for the cover. Shelton Benjamin able to kick out. And you see Shelton wincing, holding those ribs. A fact that I'm sure is not lost on Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata, it was not too long ago, Brian, that you and I were talking about what a presence he is in the locker room, but I noticed that a little different reception for Shibata from the rest of the locker room today after what went down this past Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't see him interacting with anybody at all. The Opps had their own changing room today, which is the first time I've seen that. Usually Samoa Joe is a locker room leader. But it was interesting to see how people were reacting to what Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Shibata all did.
We saw Shelton Benjamin laying down on the mat. Aubrey Edwards correctly given the 3 count as Shelton was in a pinning predicament despite being locked in the figure 4.
Yeah, this is a great strategy by Shibata. You take out the legs of Shelton Benjamin, you keep him in this figure 4 leg lock for an extended period of time.
I mean, not only is it putting pressure on the knees, Brian, but it's also fatiguing the legs of Shelton Benjamin, making those leaping knee strikes, the high kicks, less explosive from Shelton.
100%, and his legs can kind of go to sleep, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, you see Shelton, he's not moving well after extricating himself from the figure 4 leg lock, but Shibata keeps the attack on. AEW Dynamite live from San Antonio, Texas. The AEW World Trios Championship on the line in our opening contest. A hard-hitting affair between the Hurt Syndicate and the champions, the Opps. For the last few moments, Brian, we have seen the Opps getting the better of Shelton Benjamin. They have him completely isolated.
Yeah, and I wonder how much the match that the Hurt Syndicate had on Saturday is the toll is weighing on Shelton Benjamin right now. He got put through the table by the demand. And you can see his ribs are a little bit banged up. His legs are a little bit weak, and that's very unusual for Shelton Benjamin. He's an incredible athlete. I think this is a really smart strategy by Samoa Joe. Wear down Shelton Benjamin
Yeah, the Opps, it's clear they have singled Shelton Benjamin out after the very physical month he has endured.
Yeah, and they're keeping Shelton Benjamin away from his corner. You see, this is smart ring placement by Samoa Joe. He's got his back to the Hurt Syndicate. And if Shelton Benjamin wants to make a tag, he's going to have to actually go through Samoa Joe as opposed to directly getting to his tag team partners.
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin, though, trying to motivate himself, trying to fire up to break free of the grip of the man who this past Saturday would be a two-time AEW World Champion, but it was not meant to be. But speaking of this past Saturday, Jon Moxley forced to say, "I quit" by Darby Allin. Mox will be back in action here tonight against Kyle O'Reilly of the Conglomeration. Plus, we will hear live from Darby Allin for the first time since what transpired this past Saturday at Wrestle Dream and our main event tonight at Dynamite. Bandito, only the third man to defeat Kazuchika Okada inside an AEW ring. He has earned a shot at the AEW Unified Championship. That will go down tonight in our main event. This program absolutely loaded as Shelton Benjamin, open hand shots being exchanged with Samoa Joe. You see Joe hit bleary-eyed. Brian, he pointed out that the Opps coming into this match relatively fresh. Only 2/3 of their team did not compete, whereas the entire Hurt Syndicate and Samoa Joe were in action this past Saturday. And Benjamin, though, he's got Samoa Joe rattled.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Out of the 3 members of the Opps, the one that was that was wrestled on Saturday, put through a grueling match, was Samoa Joe. And Shelton Benjamin took advantage of it.
Katsuyori Shibata legal for the champs. Bobby Lashley legal for the challengers. Taking down Shibata once, now twice. Shibata back up. Bobby Lashley, belly to belly suplex. And Katsuyori Shibata very unsteady on his feet. The almighty Bobby Lashley going to work here.
Yeah, this is a great matchup for the Hurt Syndicate. And look at Bobby Lashley clearing Hobbs off the apron.
At Powerhouse Hobbs, he had his eyes down at Katsuyori Shibata. Bobby Lashley saw it, knocking Hobbs to the floor and driving down Shibata. Oh, but Hobbs back in time to break up the pinfall attempt.
Yeah, one of the things I've noted here is we haven't seen MVP legally get in the ring in this match. I wonder if he got beat up in that, or if he's a little banged up after that Tornado Trios match on Saturday. Oh, this is a fight I want to see.
Bobby Lashley, Powerhouse Hobbs teeing off on one another. Center of the ring, and Hobbs, though, he changes levels, a shot across the windpipe. And now, Lashley frees himself. Bobby Lashley looking for that hurt lock. Hobbs knew it, and he backed Lashley up to the corner.
Yeah, I think whoever knocks the other one down first is going to have a psychological advantage. Oh, but they both went down.
But Katsuyori Shibata, though, while all of that was going on, he remains the legal man alongside Bobby Lashley. Lands the PK, still clutching the back of his neck as Shibata, the lateral press. Lashley able to kick out.
And Shibata's pinned a number of people with the penalty kick.
Now Samoa Joe, MVP, into the fray, and Joe immediately going for the eyes. Samoa Joe, after the disgusting actions after the match we saw against Hangman Adam Page.
Samoa Joe went for the eyes, and then MVP went for the throat.
MVP hits the ropes, and he's dropping the elbow on Samoa Joe. 1, 2. Oh, Shibata there to break it up.
Great save by Shibata there.
Shelton Benjamin released German suplex on Lashley's spine, or excuse me, on Shibata, spine buster on Benjamin, and now Bobby Lashley spikes Powerhouse Hobbs.
And look at that boot by Samoa Joe.
And now the Kikina clutch, potentially locked in.
MVP Jiu-Jitsu black belt, he knows how to get out.
Not sure they teach you a jawbreaker like that in Jiu-Jitsu, but MVP. Now, wait a second. Ricochet coming down, hitting the ring, and the demand, it seems like their issues with the Hurt Syndicate aren't over. Joe transitions into the Kikina clutch. MVP.
And he's got the hooks in.
And the MVP with no choice but to tap
the Opps.
Well, by hook or by crook.
AEW World Trios Championship. Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 789 pounds, they are the AEW World Trios Champions, Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, the Opps.
Well, if you missed the opening of our program here tonight,
Yikes.
it was very nearly an attack on Tony Schiavone, but then Hangman Adam Page intervened, not only had your back, Eddie Kingston, Hook, entered the ring, and Hook goaded Samoa Joe into putting the AEW World Trios Championships on the line here tonight.
And thus, here we go.
Introducing the challengers, the team of Hook, Eddie Kingston, and the AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page.
You know, it's been a big night. We've had so many announcements concerning Full Gear presented by DC 2 weeks from Saturday, including the Casino Gauntlet to crown the first ever national champion. What a fitting way to end this big night, gentlemen, with the Trios Championship being on the line.
It'll be the rematch from Wrestle Dream, Hangman Adam Page, Samoa Joe, Part 2 for the AEW Men's World Championship. But a lot of interweaving stories in this match, Brian. Of course, Hook, a very complicated relationship with the Opps. He was partners with Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe. Hook was taken out by the Death Riders. Or excuse me, he was partners with Katsuyori Shibata and Samoa Joe. They called on Powerhouse Hobbs to take Hook's spot, and they won the World Trios Championship when it was unclear how soon Hook would be able to return.
Yeah, and I think at first, Hook was okay with that. I mean, he was out hurt, all that sort of thing. But I think it's really, he really has a problem with it when Samoa Joe did what he did and the rest of the Opps did what they did to Hangman Adam Page. They're not the same Opps they were when Hook was a part of it. Look at Hangman and Shibata just go at it.
And Hangman Adam Page maybe getting the better of Katsuyori Shibata. Hangman battering Shibata, and Shibata, you saw how his arms dropped. He was nearly defenseless. But the boot avoided, that one wasn't. And now Shibata, he likes that back heel trip with the head and arm captured, but instead Hangman power out of it and answers with a boot of his own.
Hangman has been so violent, so aggressive during 2025, go all the way back to All In.
Where he got a huge assist from the Opps.
Sure did.
In neutralizing the Death Riders, neutralizing the numbers advantage. That ultimately was one of the many things that allowed Hangman Adam Page to claim the AEW World Championship from Jon Moxley.
It's been a remarkable run for him, Hangman Adam Page. And he's got another.
Whoa! He decked Shibata. Now the cover, the leg hooked. But the kick out by Katsuyori Shibata.
There's that man, Samoa Joe, waiting in the wings.
Brian, we talked about the history of Hook with the Opps, but we have to also mention the history of Hook with Powerhouse Hobbs. They were members of Team Taz at one point. When Powerhouse Hobbs would compete, it was Hook that was consistently always in the corner, but now Northern Light suplex too. And whoa, Shibata able to break free. So that betrayal of having Hobbs step into Hook's position in the Opps and win the Trios Championships, that's got to be felt all that much more keenly by the cold-hearted Handsome Devil.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why he was so adamant about making this Trios match into a title match. But then also, I wonder if it's some sort of justification. Last week, he tapped out pretty quickly to Samoa Joe in that #1 contenders match. I wonder if he's trying to make up for something as well.
I mean, Hook made a great accounting of himself against 3 highly skilled veterans 1 week ago, and right now he is standing toe-to-toe with his former partner in Team Taz, his former friend Powerhouse Hobbs. But Hobbs, no compunctions about shutting Hook down.
Great backbreaker by Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs is just, I mean, with his strength and his demeanor, he can just do basically anything he wants to anybody in the ring, and Hook's finding out right now.
Yeah, I mean, Hook is a tremendous athlete, but
Right.
When he's in there with somebody like Powerhouse Hobbs. Hook! The suplex is our main event for the AEW World Trios Championship continues.
That was one hell of a move by Hook, man.
Yeah, but it looks like Hook's back. Something's wrong with his back.
Yeah, to hoist an athlete like Powerhouse Hobbs up like that, Hook may have pulled something. I'm not sure what happened, but either way, it has now brought Eddie Kingston into match and Samoa Joe on the opposite side of the ring. And Joe battering Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, especially after those backbreakers from Powerhouse Hobbs. Super effective. I'm interested to see what Eddie Kingston can do against Samoa Joe. Eddie Kingston hasn't been back for very long. This is going to be a great test to see where Eddie Kingston is at.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston dealing with the broken leg, 15 months on the shelf, only returning to action earlier this late summer. But right now, as we see Dr. Michael Sampson, ringside physician, attending to Hook. And the thing about those lower back injuries, Brian, it's not immediately apparent what is going on. It's not like a broken bone or a torn ligament where a doctor can feel it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough injury, and sometimes it can affect the strength in your legs. Oh, great chop by Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston gets so much power behind those chops.
But Shibata.
I think Kingston loves this.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't right there.
Yeah, you wonder if the timeout, your chest gets kind of callous when you're used to getting into so many chop battles like Eddie Kingston has his entire career. You take all that time. Oh my gosh!
It is not often you see Katsuyori Shibata take shortcuts like that.
That has shocked me.
Yeah, that was very uncharacteristic of Shibata.
But Brian, I think it just goes to show that the Opps, all three of the members, are on the same page, fighting with a similar strategy.
Yeah, same purpose. I get it. I don't agree with it, especially Shibata.
Raking the soles of his boots across the eyes of Eddie Kingston, and Kingston still trying to get his breath back after being kicked quite low.
Kicked low and hard. Joe with those tremendous jabs.
Guys, Hook is still down. Still down.
Welcome back to AEW Dynamite live on TBS and HBO MAX. I'm Excalibur, joined by Tony Schiavone, Brian Danielson, our main event for the AEW World Trios Championships, the Opps, Hangman Adam Page, and Hook Eddie Kingston challenging the Opps for the titles. Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe looking to defend the titles. This match, it was supposed to be a non-title match, Tony, but it seemed like Hook, who is currently injured on the floor, it seemed like Hook was able to goad Samoa Joe into putting the titles on the line.
That's what he wanted to do, very successful about it. Samoa Joe was irate. Right now, Hook, as you said, still down on the floor, and look at these two men eye each other, who will go at it one-on-one at Full Gear presented by DC.
Brian, we've had a series of advantage battles here tonight, but this is a true battle of advantage for the Opps. Essentially 3-on-2 for the last few minutes as Hook has been neutralized effectively on the floor.
Yeah, and you've seen it with the Opps, the way that every time Eddie Kingston has tried to make a comeback, they've been able to tag out, isolate him in the corner. Just great trios wrestling from the Opps, our trios champions.
But Kingston up to his feet, elbows to the midsection, trying to break the grip on that nerve hold by Samoa Joe, the man who could become two-time AEW World Champion.
And Eddie Kingston needs to make the tag here. He was able to move out of the way.
It will be Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page, Saturday, November 22nd. Full Gear, presented by DC, live from the Prudential Center, The Rock in Newark, New Jersey.
Uh-oh, first one making the tag is Samoa Joe.
But Joe makes the tag, but so does Eddie Kingston. Hangman Adam Page, he's into this match. He's fresh. He's wrestling with purpose. And he's wrestling against numerical disadvantage.
It's easy to say when he's the world champion. Whoa! Right now,
Powerhouse Hobbs. Unreal strength from Hobbs. But a nice slip there by Hangman Adam Page. Hobbs face first into the ring post.
Here we go. Smart move by Hobbs. Well, maybe not.
Hangman changes his footing. Hits the moonsault into the ring. Dude! Oh! We were half a heartbeat away from crowning new trios champions.
Yeah, great ring awareness by our AEW World Men's Champion. He was going for that moonsault on the floor and was able to adjust when Hobbs went into the ring.
That's why I say he's wrestling his best ever right now. No doubt.
Rolling elbow strike into the jaw of Powerhouse Hobbs, but Hobbs turns things around. Blind tag. Eddie Kingston makes it. Hangman threw himself out to the floor at Katsuyori Shibata, and in comes Kingston. But there is Samoa Joe, the difference maker for the champions.
This has been 2-on-3 for most of the match because of the injury to Hook.
But you can see Hook still clutching that lower back, trying to hoist up Katsuyori Shibata in that T-bone, but Shibata, the leg trip. Hangman the boot into the jaw of Shibata.
Here we go. He's got him lined up, I do believe. Oh.
Could be an Hurricane buckshot lariat combination, but Hobbs at least taking one half of that equation out of play. Oh, Kingston threw himself through the ropes. Hobbs caught him, as did Shibata with the German suplex, and now there's a shoulder tackle, driving Hangman further up the ramp. Powerhouse Hobbs.
Shit my ass.
Well, this thing has broken down, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, and with Hook's back, Hangman needs to get closer to the ring. Eddie Kingston's gonna need some help.
You are right.
Hangman once again, the rolling elbow strike into that very, very formidable jaw of Hangman, or excuse me, of Powerhouse Hobbs. But Hobbs intercepts the third one. Oh, no.
Oh, God!
Powerhouse Hobbs just drove Hangman Adam Page from the stage, through the table, onto the floor.
And Eddie Kingston now. Oh, look at this.
If Eddie Kingston was at a 3-on-2 disadvantage before, it is now effectively 3-on-1.
He's being double teamed, as you can see in the ring. Can Eddie survive this?
But there is nobody with more heart than Eddie Kingston. He's able to move out of the way.
How about that?
Kingston slips free. Exploder on Shibata.
Shibata's smart move. Roll out of the ring. Watch out behind you.
But Hobbs just bull rushes Kingston to the corner. And Hook pulling himself into this match, injured back and all. This is a gutsy move. And now Hook looking for Red Room on Hobbs.
Yeah, big arms to the chest to get that on.
But Hobbs, he's got Hook up, and he's now the backbreaker.
Oh, God. Oh, that's it.
The backbreaker is in, and Hook taps out. The Opps retain.
Your winners and still AEW World Trios Champions, the Opps.
Hook tapping out. I mean, understandably so, Ryan, when already an pre-existing lower back injury, and then the backbreaker from Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row. Folks had to tap out. I feel so bad for him. I mean, he's writhing in pain right now with his back.
But as is our AEW Men's World Champion, Hangman Adam Page.